nice to not have to worry about the cops over our shoulder, too. Up is down, black is white. The illusion is real.
And if anyone doubts the role of art in changing the political discourse and the direction that our country is going in, they need look no further than the Hope poster that Shepard Fairey created.
A lot of my work is about
most of the time it's just numbering letters and stuff.
questioning authority, promoting peace, encouraging people to look at how images affect them in public space, even if they don't have a very specific literal interpretation. It's something that's an alternative to advertising in public space, what I'm making. So some of it's intended to have an ambiguity that just gets people thinking about what is this about, and then theoretically, just based on the context, they'd start to maybe question the other things they're inundated with in public space.
Well, Tom Sokolowski, our director here at the Warhol Museum, heard about the show happening up at the Boston ICA, the Institute of Contemporary Art, and decided that he would go up to see the exhibition, and went up to Boston and just automatically fell in love with the show and said, we have to do it here in Pittsburgh. The Warhol influence is so obvious and strong that it just will make perfect sense. So literally since they got here on Monday, we've been driving around, and Shepard will say, I want to do that. And we say, okay. And we then make a few phone calls and make it happen. And the amount of community support that has come out of this is amazing.
I am a good friend of Eric Schreiner, who is the curator, Milton Fine curator of the Warhol. We were having lunch maybe a couple of months ago, and we were just talking about this project, and Shepard was coming to town, and I've always been a big fan. I had an Andre the Giant sticker of his on my snowboard 15 plus years ago, and I've always followed his work. So Eric was saying how he was looking for walls in the city to have Shepard do his murals, and I said, wait a minute, we have a wall, we have two walls. So wouldn't it be great to have an architecture firm and a Fathom, our design research element, to be affiliated with Shepard Fairey in some way, and kind of this great street art.
And it's great to see Shepard and his people work. They're just this amazingly well-oiled machine, and they all work really well together, and it's just done sort of really, really quickly.
Yeah, the way it works is there's a combination of screen prints and then oversized hand-painted images. They're all on paper, and they get glued up with wallpaper paste, and so that makes the whole process of installing a lot faster than painting it by hand once you get to the place. So, and for years that was my methodology, based on not having permission and needing to work quickly. A lot of what I do is modular, so I can I can go and whatever size space I can make it work, because I have repeat pattern prints that are consistent color theme, color combinations, and then the same format, 18 by 24 or 24 by 36 vertical, so they all work really nicely in a grid, and then the larger images get laid over those.
Shepard took an image of President Obama off the internet and then refashioned it and made it his own in a way by different color shading and whatnot, and that poster went on to really, I think, change the face, literally, of the election, and it became the iconic symbol of Obama's campaign, and I would go so far as to say it was a major factor in Obama actually winning the presidency, that you see how the power of art really can affect huge change in society, how one singular image can do something like that.
What is your name?
Shepard Fairey.
Shepard. I'm Myra. We're
Hey.
Murray. We're from Chicago.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a writer, so
Oh, cool.
yeah.
I mean, the image of mine you probably would know. I did, if you're from Chicago, you might have seen the banners around. I did the Obama Hope.
You did? Oh! Are you the guy who took the picture that they were writing about?
Took the picture they're writing about. Well, I assume you're talking about the Associated Press trying to sue me for doing the illustration based on one of their press photos.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know why your name is familiar. Sure,
Yeah, it's been all
everybody
over the
knows
news.
that. Do you have a card?
The way that copyright law is defined is it's a relatively new thing in art history. So for many years after the invention of the photograph, you know, Degas, Van Gogh, all sorts of people used, I mean, of course, Rauschenberg, Warhol, they used photographic references or assimilated, appropriated aspects of pop culture ephemera into their work to make a new statement. That half of what you see in art since 1880 would be illegal, everything in the galleries and the museums. You know, if I lose my case, not each one of those things may not be pursued legally, but technically they'd be rendered illegal. And that is a very, very scary thought.
And I think that most people have probably seen that, but aren't familiar with his now 20 years of art production, his graphic design work, and the Obey Giant symbol that you've probably seen at some point in your life but never noticed, because there are literally stickers of this little Andre the Giant face plastered on signs and street poles all over not only the country but around the world. Of course, over and above that, Shepard has a huge body of work of these lavishly illustrative posters and works on paper, even some works on canvas. And once you sort of get into that world, you start to see how he takes, like Warhol, images from popular culture, from the press, refigures them, and turns them into these beautiful, lush images.
Oh, and if you don't like my art, which there's a strong possibility you don't, make your own art, okay?